Hello, and welcome everybody to our Gunnery Debrief. I'm Unsparings, your host, here to guide you through the basics of cannon mechanics. My hope is to help you improve and become the best sailor you can be. So without further ado, let's begin this video. There are four main sections on our vessel that house our guns. These include the bow, the stern, the port, and starboard. It is important to remember these terms, as your officers will tend to use them to indicate which side you should be firing from. To utilize the cannon, press E. To move your cannon, press W to angle it down and S to angle it up, along with A and D, which turn your cannon from left to right. To fire the cannon, simply press the F key. The bow and stern cannons will now have a secondary shot called the slowing shot. An impact from this shot slows down the enemy ship, giving you and your crew a tactical advantage in combat. To fire a slowing shot, press the R key while sitting on a bow or stern gun. You'll know you'll have successfully fired a slowing shot based on the blue particles that come from the round while it heads towards its target. Near the bottom of the screen, you'll notice a green lit bar that appears before firing. This is your firing indicator. After firing, you will reload for approximately 6 seconds before being able to fire again. However, firing a slowing shot will take longer to reload, as it has a cooldown of 15 seconds and will not allow you to fire anything until its 15 seconds are up. It is critical to avoid jumping off of the cannon during the reload process, as it will only reset the reload timer and make you lose valuable time during combat. It is also highly recommended that during free periods and breaks in combat, to switch from cannon to cannon to make sure your ship is fully stocked and loaded. Aiming at a target can get a little tedious. When trying to zero in on targets, you should account for three crucial variables: the distance, the angle, and the tilt. As you continue to fire, a gunner must determine the distance between you and the enemy ship. The angle of your cannon must be moved and positioned for you to hit your target, and lastly, you must account for the ship's tilt, which is when your ship rocks from left to right. For example, if the enemy is further away from you, you want to raise your cannon to the highest possible angle and wait until your ship tilt is at its peak to avoid undershooting. And if the target is closer than you think, reposition the cannon and make sure to wait until, once again, the ship is at its highest tilt to fire, to avoid overshooting. Another important type of cannon is the mortar, which is used to fire at ships from very far away. They have the same basic idea and move the same way, but are handled much differently. We urge you to train in your own time if you have a ship with a mortar. To be comfortable with firing a mortar, you need to understand arcs and angles. Accounting for these variables requires precise timing of your shots. We encourage you to attend our trainings and drills to help you learn and get a good feel of the mortar and cannons. Remember, do not be discouraged if you can't hit the first few shots, as these skills take a little time to master. But taking into account what we have shared with you today, you should be ready for the trials ahead.